Hello, everyone. Welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, back this week, joined by my co-host Gordon Chatterton and Gage Berdovich, live from the road, driving down those Pennsylvania highways. We'll try to mind our manners here on this podcast. Fellas,
Not like
how we doing this week?
he's frozen.
Gage is frozen. Yeah, he said he's having a little trouble there, but we'll
Yeah.
get him back in when he comes in. So, Gordon, how you
Doing
doing, man?
great. My pick sucked last week, but all of my picks sucked last week. But
There we go. Gage,
I'm doing good.
Gage, doing all right, man?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing fine. Hotspot internet's not exactly the best to be using, and neither is traveling on Pennsylvania roads where it's just bumps after bumps after bumps after bumps. Feeling a little heartache from the DC Defenders, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sure I'll hear all about it here in the next hour.
Oh, we may touch on that game. We may. But yeah, guys, we're back this week. The crew's all here. We've got some UFL. We've got some NFL. We've got some random things to throw out here. So we'll just go ahead, guys. We'll get right into it. And let's go ahead and start out with the UFL last week. We talked about our picks, so we'll go ahead and we'll talk about those picks real quick. Last week, Gordon, you went 2-2. Gage went 3-1, and I went 0-4. I did not pick a single game right last week. Gage is 18-6, Gordon's 14-10, and I'm now 11-13. I'm not even Tomlin in it anymore. I am just sucking all the way around. I'm like the Columbus Aviators over here in dead last.
It's
my
kind of
team
funny because
sucks.
last week doing this, I was like, man, Gordo, Brent pulled a game ahead of you. I don't know what's going to happen. And now it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, I picked this, I was the only one that picked the Kings to cover, but I didn't pick them to win. That's where I messed up. I should have just rolled with my team and I'd have got at least one there. But here we are. Gage, you're killing it, man. 18-6 so far in the UFL.
I need to start placing bets on these games or something. But I know the second I do that, I'm going to lose like 15 in a row. So
yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead. Let's recap a little bit of UFL from last week. What a great week it was. We'll start off with the Friday game. Or no, the Saturday game. Let's just start the Saturday game. The Kings beat the Defenders for the second straight week, 33-30. They sweep the series back-to-back weeks. They go to DC, they beat them. They come back into Louisville, and they beat them again. A 10-point underdog, a 6-point underdog. It doesn't matter. DC comes out. They score on their first play of their drive after a big kickoff return. The Kings come back, and they get a kickoff return. And you're like, oh, boy, buckle up because this could be a game. And, man, I did not see this coming, Gage. The Kings just beat the Defenders for a second straight week, and they are right now on the cusp of making the playoffs at this point in time. What'd you think about the game, Gage, if he comes back?
I can't
you
give you
mentioned
no
the
insight.
special. Am I here?
You're here. Yeah, you're back.
You mentioned the special teams. The first minute, not even, first 31 seconds, it was 14-7 or something like that. This was incredible. Two great kickoff returns. One went for a touchdown, one went past midfield, and then Cornell Powell, one play touchdown. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a super high scoring game. And then at halftime, it was like, 10-7, 14-7? Like, okay, maybe it's not going to be. And then 33-30 is the final. The Defenders take a loss in the game, and they also take a loss team-wise because Jordan Tom is out of the season.
Yeah, as he mentioned right there, Jordan Tamu, the quarterback for the Defenders, out for the season. They turned to a quarterback. What is the backup quarterback? They didn't play Jason Bean. It was Shadur Sanders, his little brother. No, I think. No.
Spencer Sanders.
Spencer Sanders. Yeah, distant cousin.
I think I sent you a message during that game of how is it Sanders? Because I know, the DC ended up scoring 30. But it's not because of Sanders. The run game took over. Abram Smith took over. Xavier Valade took over and Deion Jackson took over, and that's what it was. Well, why would you not play Jason Bean, a former team, who he obviously a lot of practice, and you're like, no, we traded for him, but we're not going to use him.
Yeah, that's kind of have head scratcher to me too. Jason Bean started the season in Louisville as a starter, played at best. There was a reason why they traded him away. They believed in Chandler Rogers more than they did Jason Bean. Louisville fans were letting Jason Bean have it coming down the steps at the stadium there, asking him, "Why'd you slide?" And that was weeks ago, but you don't go to him and you go to Sanders. Was there something that maybe DC sees that they don't like in Bean either? I don't know why he didn't get the opportunity over Sanders. Might have given him a better shot. Like you said, he knows that team at least a little bit. He's faced them in practice. Maybe give him a shot. They didn't. And the defenders fall again and now are without their quarterback. Going into the playoffs here might not be looking too good for the defenders for a repeat.
No, I have to worry because all DC needs to do is win one game. Not even have 50% chance of making the playoffs. But right now, are you going to stay or are you going to go to B? I think Sanders is the QB1 for this week, but how short is his leash? Before you're like, all right, get out of here. Let's turn to the Bean Man. Like, all you do is win one game.
If it was me and I'm DC, it's a pretty short leash because, like you said, you got to win one of these next two just to make the playoffs. There's no guarantee you're in the playoffs right now where you sit. So you've got to do what you got to do, and whoever's going to give you the best opportunity, got to go with them. So we'll see how it is. But the Kings, man, the 4 of the last 5, the Kings have won. Looked horrible the first few weeks of the season. And that was with Bean, and since trading him away, things are looking up now for the Kings. So they've got a shot. We need this week. We need the Storm to win, and we need the Aviators to win.
Good luck.
Well, I mean, hey, the Storm, they play decent.
Right, but if you need the Aviators to win, you are SOL. I mean, you're shut.
Why would you say that, Gordon? Because they faced the Stallions this week, and what a defensive performance! Stallions shut down the Aviators 14-3. Yeah, defense.
We don't have anything. We've got a quarterback that should probably be playing. I don't know. He should be bowling or something. He shouldn't be playing quarterback. Maybe he should go play a game of pickup basketball with the fellow Girl Scouts or something. I don't know, but he's not very good. I mean, I would have a chance at outplaying him at quarterback, and that's pretty sad because I can't throw a ball 15 yards.
What
I
does
don't know
it
the way
make?
my elbow is anymore.
Does it make you feel any better that they have made a change at quarterback and they're now going to Jalen Morton as the QB1 for the Aviators?
I don't know. It's kind of sad because there's some reason why he didn't beat that dude out in the first place.
That's true.
I mean, so it's like, okay, well, a lot of people, they play different in games than they do in practice. We've heard a lot about that, but
let me tell you this, Gordon. Chandler Rogers got beat out by Jason Bean in Louisville. They end up trading away Jason Bean, and they've been better with Chandler Rogers as quarterback. Is that maybe what Ted Ginn's thinking over there for the Aviators now? They're still mathematically alive for the playoffs.
Todd Haley probably thought of it. Ted Ginn.
You're probably right. Wouldn't surprise me. Jalen Morton, just a little information on Jalen Morton. Do you all know where he's even played at?
Nope.
Prairie View A&M, undrafted. He was on the practice squad of the Green Bay Packers in 2020. So there you go.
That's cool.
He's good enough to make the practice squad. He can't be too horrible.
And he played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He was a Birmingham Stallion in 2023 and 2025 before joining the Columbus Aviators. So there's your Jalen Morton biography. 24 looks like he played for the nobody. He didn't play anywhere. I don't know what happened in 2024. I think he may have just who knows, bagged groceries somewhere.
Fries in the bag.
Fries in the bag. There we go. But yeah, so the Aviators, the Stallions, DTR, since they've traded for him, They started out 1-4. Now they've won 3 straight.
Yep.
And it sucks because Jason Bean throws that interception in week 1 against the Stallions and lose the game. That is the difference in the 4th and 5th spot right now. The Stallions hold the 4th spot because of the tiebreaker, and the Kings are in the 5th spot. If they win that game, right now the Kings are sitting pretty good. Maybe even higher than that because they would have 5 wins at this point in time. So every game matters in this league, man. With 10-week schedule, every game matters, even the early ones. The other games for the weekend, the Dallas Renegades continue to fall, losing to the Storm 31-24. The Orlando Storm, the expansion team, the first playoff spot clinched this season. The Storm gets it. And guys, we've hated on the Storm just about every week on this podcast. We think that they're overrated. They're not as good as what they are, and they just keep winning ball games. Gordon, I heard on the podcast last week, you're like, Renegades have got to turn it around somehow. I'm picking them to win here. And they fall again. And I think they made a mistake with the trade that they made because they were rolling the first 3 weeks, and they've lost 5 straight. What's going on in Dallas?
They must have a cowboy syndrome. When it starts mattering, they need a new coach.
Who is the Renegades coach?
I don't know, but they need a former female porn star. She might blow a few, but she won't choke on the big ones. But anyways, I don't know. They played so good the first 3 weeks. I didn't think you could forget how to play, how you were playing. And I should have known when the Aviators beat them, I should have known that there was something going on.
Yeah, that was their first loss. That should have been the first clue there, but they were dominating the first 3 weeks. Austin Reed, they traded away the Spring King because they thought they had Austin Reed out here, Tom Brady, the next Tom Brady in their eyes. And then, man, he's fell off. He had 134 yards passing, 12 for 23, 3 touchdowns and a pick in that game. Jack, as Gordon called him, Jack the Whack Plumber, 24 of 36, 238 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 71 rushing yards. He's been impressive. He's been impressive a little bit this year.
I could have said what I was going to.
What's that?
I still think the Storm, though, are overrated because all the games have been close. They haven't really had a blown out per se. I don't believe.
No, they have not. They beat the Kings 2 straight weeks. One of the games was like 19-9. That may have been their biggest margin of victory this season so far was 10, but nothing impressive so far. But I mean, you got to give it to them. They keep winning. That's all that matters. They keep winning.
Get the W.
1 or 100.
Yeah, it does not matter. And a big upset this week. The Houston Gamblers upset the Battlehawks 23-16. Now, if you listen to this podcast last week, Gage, this was his underdog pick of the week as he picked Hunter Deckers and the Gamblers to upset the Battlehawks. I thought the Spring King was back with Perez, and the Gamblers come out and they upset him on the road, beat him by a touchdown.
Yeah, you can't go against our guy Hunter Deckers now. Like, yeah, it's the Spring King you're going to get, but Hunter Deckers is Hunter Deckers.
I shouldn't have made that mistake. I wasn't here live and in person. Wasn't thinking about it when I sent it. And I'm like, man, I should have went with our boy. I can't go against our boy Hunter Deckers. I mean, he was our training camp hero last year on our NFC South preview with the Saints. We were trying to figure out who was going to quarterback that team.
And it should have been Hunter Deckers. But
been Hunter Deckers. Oh, we got Tyler Sugg. Yeah. Or Spencer Rattler, Desmond Ritter, same kind of quarterback. You know what I mean? They both suck.
Super shitty, yeah.
Same person.
Yeah. Perez, though, he did go 26 of 47, 308 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. And Hunter Deckers 15 for 22, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. So the Gamblers still hanging around. I thought that they were the absolute worst team in this league by far. But
no, that's the Aviators.
I thought the Aviators had something at one point in time, but maybe I was just wrong. I don't know.
You got to add a handful of their own ass. That's about all they had.
So that'll take us now to our picks for this upcoming week. And we'll start it off with Friday's game, and that would be The DC Defenders traveling to Orlando to face the Storm at 8 o'clock on Fox. Storm is a 2.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, what do you think here in this one?
Oh, God, I know they're overrated, the Storm. But the Defenders lost their quarterback, and I don't know who I don't know who's going to play. And they don't have to be terrible because their starting quarterback was pretty damn good.
Yeah, MVP last year for playoffs, wasn't he?
But I'm sitting there thinking, though, give me Jack off Plummer, or I'm sorry, to whack Plummer and the Storm to cover against the Defenders because I don't know who their quarterback is. More likely I'm going to be wrong on most of these, but this will probably be one of them. But give me the Storm.
Hey, you can't do any worse than what I did last week. The Defenders are coming off of back-to-back losses. This will be a prime spot for them to get back on track. But Jordan Ta'amu is out for the season. Do you go with Shiloh Sanders or Spencer Sanders or Shadur Sanders or Reggie Sanders or Bo Sanders? Anybody? Do you go with any of those guys or do you go with Jason Bean? Mr. Bean.
Ricky Sanders? Yeah.
Rick, yeah, whatever. One of the Sanders boys. Or do you go with Mr. Bean? I don't know what you do here. That's a big question mark. The Defenders are kind of reeling. The Storm have been steady all season long. They're at home here. Gage, I'm sorry about it, but I'm going to have to go with the Storm. They've already clinched. I believe if they win this week, they can clinch the #1 overall seed. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just spewing out some stuff here, but it sounds good. I think the Storm win, and I think that they cover the 2.5, and they win by about a touchdown. Gage, what do you think about your Defenders?
Yeah, as much as I want to rally behind DC this week, the Storm are a tough team. They have a great offense. Their defense is pretty well off as well. We know that their games have been pretty close, but going with Barry or Shiloh or Shador or Spencer or whoever is that quarterback, or Jason Bean, I don't think it's going to matter. I'm going to go with the Jack attack out here. Give me the Storm to win, and they cover the 2.5.
So, first game, and we all pick a sweep. So, this could be either really good or really bad for us. We'll find out. Let's move to Saturday at 3 o'clock on ABC. The Birmingham Stallions travel to Columbus to face the Aviators. Birmingham is only a 1.5-point favorite on the road. It's kind of surprising here a little bit. Gage, you feel surprised by this one as well?
I am very surprised, especially the way Columbus has been playing. Maybe it has a little bit to do with the quarterback change. Maybe they're expecting, Columbus doesn't really know, Birmingham doesn't really know what to expect from the quarterback change. But I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. I'm going to roll with the Stallions here, and they're going to cover that 1.5. I would say probably by a double-digit victory.
Yeah, these two teams just played last week, and it was 14-3. So not a whole lot of offense going on here. Gordon, I know you like defensive games when it's good defenses. I don't think that was the case last week. I think it was more like the offenses aren't the best here. The Aviators, man, I would like for the Aviators to get the win here because that would help out the Kings quite a bit in the playoff race because the stupid Stallions won that first game against the Kings. But I think that the Stallions, I just can't pick the Aviators right now with the way that they played. I mean, they had a couple of weeks where Todd Haley was taking over, and it's like, okay, we're the Aviators may have something here with that running game. And turns out maybe the Renegades' run defense just absolutely sucked. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick the Stallions to win this one here, and I think that they cover on the road. They cover that 1.5-point spread. Gordon, what do you think?
Just for the sake of we all don't agree the entire time on every game. I mean, I'm gonna miss 2 or 3, maybe even all 4.
It's happened before with me.
Yeah. So maybe I might get lucky. I might tumble in it again and do 2 and 2. Have the last couple weeks. I'm gonna pick the home dog, Billy Guns, the Aviators, and they don't need to cover.
Okay, because they're the dogs.
And of course, according to the bracket, even if they tie, they technically still win because you're taking a 1.5 from the Stallions. Hey, go Columbus.
We may have to check the tape here, Gordon. I think this may be the first time you've rolled with the Aviators all season. Maybe.
No, I did in week 1.
Week 1. Okay. So
No, I think
week
I have
1.
twice. Week 1 and another week, and I was wrong both times.
We'll see how it goes for you here, but let's move on to Sunday. And we've got the Dallas Renegades traveling to Louisville to face the Louisville Kings at 4:00 on Fox. Louisville is a 1.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, what are you thinking here?
Renegades have been playing some good ball here lately. Renegades have not. They've lost 5 straight. Started off as the best team in the league, and then now they look kind of aviator-ish, and that is not a compliment. I'm going to have to roll with the Kings on this one and cover because it's only a 1.5. But I'm going to have to take the Kings in the cover.
Gage, what do you think?
I'm trying to look here real quick. Okay. I wanted to see what the spread for the other game is because this is going to be a hate pick, a spite pick. We're going to roll for the underdog pick of the week. I know the spread's only 1.5, but we're going to go with the Dallas Renegades and Austin Reed. They get back on track this week, knock Chandler Rogers off his high horse a little bit, and Dallas picks up a win for the first time in over a month. Give me the Renegades, and obviously they cover.
The Kings have won 4 of their last 5. Chandler Rogers has played decent. I mean, not great, but I mean, decent the last 5 weeks since he's got the starting job. The Renegades the last 5 weeks, nosedive. I look like the team to beat all season long. The Kings have already went down there and beat the Renegades this season. Can they do it again? The Aviators have beat the Renegades. We ran all over the Renegades last time.
That's an indictment of itself.
And I think this time the Kings do it again. They continue their streak. They keep their playoff hopes alive again. They go to 5-4 and they go into week 10 with a shot to make the playoffs. Give me the Kings to win and give me them to cover because, well, I mean, they got to win by at least 2. Tanner Brown gets another 60-yard field goal like he did last week, Gage. I forgot to mention that. He got a 60-yard field goal last week, Gage. So,
Yeah,
Kings win again.
turned out to be a winner.
Yeah. And then we go to the final game of the week, Sunday at 7 on ESPN2. The St. Louis Battlehawks travel to Houston to face the Houston Gamblers. St. Louis is a 3-point favorite on the road. Gage, what do you think here?
This is actually the game I'm looking most forward to this week. Doesn't have any of our teams in it. I think it's just going to be overall a great game. And we're going to roll with the favorites. Give me the Spring King, Luis Perez, and the St. Louis Battlehawks to go into Houston, pick up a big victory, and they cover the 3 points.
Gordon, what do you think?
I have to agree. Battlehawks dropped one last week that they probably shouldn't have. I think they're going to come back. They're going to play well because they're such a good team. What I watched of them last week, I did watch a little bit, not much, but they were playing well. I mean, of course, they was already down and coming back, but they didn't make it obviously. But they played well. Give me the Battlehawks and give me a cover, or it might be a break even, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think they win by 3 or 6.
Last week, I went against the Gamblers and Hunter Deckers with the Battlehawks. I said the Spring King is back. He threw the ball around a lot last week, 47 times he pass attempt, and Hunter Deckers and them, they beat him 23-16. I cannot go against Hunter Deckers in the second straight week. Give me the Gamblers in this one, and give me the Gamblers to get the home upset, and they cover the spread because, well, they're the home dogs. So, there we go.
Isn't it funny that I was talking all that? How can we go against Hunter Deckers? How can we go against Hunter?
And you go against Hunter Deckers? Right. Like, okay. Way to take your own advice there, Gage. Nice.
Do as I say, not as I do.
All right, so that is our UFL for the week. Let's switch gears now, and we're going to stay with football, but we're going to the big league. And some news, Aaron Rodgers will return to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he also announces this is his final season, and he will retire after the 2026 season. Guys, both of you guys, Aaron Rodgers was your quarterback at one point in time, Gordon. Gage,
Yep,
Aaron
quite a
Rodgers has
while.
been your quarterback for the last 2 years. What are your guys' thoughts on Aaron Rodgers returning for a final season in Pittsburgh? One last ride.
Uh,
I like the deep breath
I'm,
there before you.
I'm happy for a sense of Rodgers has you got Michael Pittman and you got the Metcalf. This is the first time in what I could think of that a Steelers quarterback, doesn't matter who it is, has multiple good wide receivers to throw to. You could say Trubisky and Pickett had Pickens and Deontay Johnson.
Gordon, he's breaking up a little bit there. We'll get him back in a second. Gordon, what do you think about Rodgers coming back for one more season in Pittsburgh?
I think it's a good idea. When he played last year, he looked like he still has some stuff. He still has some gas in the tank. I think this year, since he knows it's his last year, I got a feeling he's gonna put some air on the ball. We might actually see more pass attempts and more passing yards this year than he's had in a long time. Because he ain't got nothing to lose. He's not coming back next year. He's retiring. I mean, he's already going to get himself a ring. Not a Super Bowl ring, but a Hall of Fame ring a few years after he retires. I think he's just going to rip it and let it go. Hopefully, he doesn't throw them damn dart balls like he did it last year in Green Bay, where he's so afraid to throw an interception. He'd rather throw the ball in the dirt than give someone a shot at it. But then again, our receivers suck.
And that's the thing. As Gage mentioned, they actually do have some receivers that he can throw to this year, and that's something that they haven't had there for a little while. They went out, they got Pittman, you got DK Metcalf.
They drafted a fast receiver in the draft, didn't they?
Who was the receiver?
Jarrett.
Oh yeah, that's right, Alabama. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the weapons around him. Yeah, Gage.
There's a reason why you have 2 ring fingers, right? You have 2 hands, 1 ring finger on each. One is going to have Rodgers Hall of Fame ring. The other is going to have a Super Bowl 2026 ring on it. Because I'm calling it now. Rodgers in his final year wins the Super Bowl with Mike McCarthy, which is weird.
Hey, Gage, I know you're on the road right now. You're driving. But you should not drink and drive, son. You should not do that. Let's just not do that. Let's wait on that till you get to your destination. I mean, we're getting crazy talk right here already.
I don't understand what you're talking about, all right?
So, yeah, Rodgers coming back. I think but here's the question here for you, Gage. I may have texted it to you the other day. What quarterback does that leave out now? It's got to be Mason, right?
It's got to be Mason. Unless you keep Mason for the backup, and that's like your veteran presence in case Rodgers gets hurt. Obviously, Rodgers is one. They're not going to cut Aller, and they're not going to cut Howard.
Right.
Do you roll with 2 quarterbacks on the practice squad?
2 draft pick. Aller was what, 3rd round?
Yeah.
And Howard, what was he the year before?
Howard was, I believe, a 6th round.
Okay.
Yeah, but Howard is better than Aller and Rudolph both.
But we don't really know that. I mean, we haven't seen Howard play in the NFL. He didn't play any of preseason last year because of the injury.
Okay.
I like to think he's better than Rudolph, and I know he's better than Aller.
How he played in college proves that if you take all their college careers, Howard had a much better college career than both of them.
He's also an Ohio State quarterback. We know how that translates to the NFL.
Well, he also played at Kansas State before that, and he was pretty damn good at Kansas State, too.
Oh, yeah. No, like I said, I'm hoping Howard is the quarterback of the future. It's just very scary. And then when the report comes out that the Steelers are uninstalling everything that Drew Aller learned at Penn State, it makes me feel very confident in the guy that you drafted in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I think you've got to get rid of Rudolph. Like you said, maybe you want the veteran presence, but that means you're saying, hey, we wasted a pick on one of these 2 guys right here, giving up on them that early. I don't think you roll with 2 guys on the practice squad. That's just what I think.
I think one will mysteriously get injured and spend maybe the entire season on the IR.
It could happen. Hey, just follow whatever Cleveland's doing up there to keep their 17 quarterbacks.
Drew Aller was in a massage parlor.
There you go. That's the story right there. That's how they get them. That's how you get to keep all the quarterbacks on the roster. Just a massage parlor. Oh boy. So, so there's another little bit more news here before we get to the scheduling. Matthew Stafford, breaking news, and the Rams agree on a 1-year extension for $55 million, worth up to $60 million. He now has a 2-year, $105 million contract. Guys, looks like we're getting Stafford for the next couple of years. They traded up to draft Ty Simpson, right? And they're giving Stafford an extension.
I
Yeah,
think he's there
that's
just a step behind him.
it's very questionable. You can say that.
Yeah.
I don't really get it, but I like it at the same time.
I don't really get the drafting of Ty Simpson. If you're going to sign Stafford up for another season, 2 years, there's other quarterbacks going to be. The draft class next year is going to have better quarterbacks than what it was this year. Why reach and get Ty Simpson at number 13 when you could get a weapon or something for Stafford? You know?
But McVay didn't understand the draft pick of Ty Simpson. There's no way any of us are going to understand it.
Yeah. So I don't know, guys. I it's weird. It's all weird, but Stafford, good for him. I mean, the guy's going to be making a ton of money for the next 2 seasons.
They're
And
following the Green Bay model. They drafted Jordan Love, and Aaron Rodgers still had 3 years. They drafted Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre still played another 3 or 4 years. They're just following that model.
I don't know it worked out with Rodgers. Time will tell on Jordan Love, but Ty Simpson at number 13, I just don't see it. He's not a top 13. So that's a little bit of the news we've got there. So let's go to the NFL schedule was released. You guys talked about some of the games that were leaked. It officially got released last week after the show was let out. Gordon come up with an idea here for the podcast, a little segment here, which we're going to do. Gordon, I'll let you take it away and you tell us the idea that you have for this segment.
I had an idea. Of course, I bounced it off of you and see what you thought. I couldn't message Gage because I don't have him on my phone. Take the schedule release, look at the games. No, not the division games, because everyone looks forward to the division games. Let's just be honest. Like you two will be looking forward to the games of Bengals versus Steelers. I'm always looking forward against the Detroit Kitty Cats, the Chicago Bear Shits, and the Vikings. I'm always looking forward to those. But the games that not in your division, now it could be another conference, but just not in your division. The games that you're looking forward to. I just thought it'd be good because there's like 3 or 4 games every year that you really got your interest peaked in the beginning of the year. I've got 3 for sure. There's a possible 4th one, but I've definitely got 3. How about you all?
Yeah, I've wrote down 3 here as well, and I'm going to go ahead. I'll go ahead and start with mine. My first game I'm looking forward to is the first game of the season for the Bengals. They open up the season with Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming into Cincinnati week 1. Tampa Bay should have been a playoff team last year. At times, they looked really good. The first few weeks of the year, Baker was even an MVP candidate. We thought maybe he may win the MVP here, and then it just fell completely off. The Bengals, they're going to be coming out there with that whole brand new defense, welcoming in Baker and the boys. You got Baker, Bucky, a Mike Evans-less Tampa Bay Bucks. But that is my first game of the season as the first game that I'm really anticipating. Looking forward to it. Gage, what is for you? What's Pittsburgh? What's one of your games that you're looking forward to for Pittsburgh?
Yeah, so I also got 3 in mind. But one, and I don't know what order these are in. I don't know what weeks they are. But I'm looking forward to the international game over in Paris against the Saints. Very, very young team that the Saints have. And it's a very older team that Pittsburgh has. Kind of see, they're going to be clashing a little bit. The Saints, I know we trashed on Tyler Shuck a little bit last year, but he ended up being kind of good. So I think that one's going to be a very good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like a lot of people probably expect. I'm looking forward to that one.
Hey, Gordon, what's your first Green Bay game you're looking forward to?
Week 6.
Cowboys.
Yeah, facing the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons versus, he should be back by then. Micah Parsons versus the Dallas Cowboys. Watching him scare the ever-loving dog shit out of Dak Prescott. And hopefully the edge rusher that we drafted in the 3rd round, hopefully he brings some pressure so they can't triple Trent team and hold Micah Parsons all game long. Of course, any game against Dallas, all of us are like, that's going to be a good game as long as Dallas loses.
Right. So my next game that I'm going to go with for the Bengals, it is also an international game. Gage, as you mentioned, one of your anticipated one, international with the Steelers and the Saints. The Bengals will be going to Madrid, Spain, and they will take on the Atlanta Falcons. Now, who's the quarterback for the Falcons? It's probably going to be a left-handed quarterback. Just saying. I don't know which left-handed quarterback it's going to be.
Not Julian.
Well,
you said just saying.
Julian, no, not that one. Just saying. That's a college podcast. Anyways, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it because international. The Bengals have not played overseas in a while. They get the Spain game here. You get to see, Atlanta's got some pieces, so it could be a good game. They've already got a spread on this game, which I think is kind of funny. Already a week 9 game in Spain, 9:30 on the NFL Network. The Bengals are a 4.5 point favorites. Anyways, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to that just because of the international flavor, and the Bengals just haven't played internationally in a while. It'll be the only game. Got to get up early in the morning to watch it. But hey, it's football. It's the Bengals. That's my next one I'm looking forward to. Gage, what about your next Steelers game?
Yeah, so the next one we're going to go to is the interstate matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's always just a good game. I'm trying to think the last time that the two teams met, I believe Philly came out with the win, unless the last time was the Chiefs Claypool 4-touchdown game. I think there was one after it where Philly came out to win. So you can't lose to your interstate rival. You can't do it. And I know there's going to be a lot of trash talking at work as well.
Gordon, what is your next matchup for the Packers that you're looking forward to?
Week 12 versus the Rams, and we're playing at the Rams. It's on Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve on Netflix. That is going to be a good game. Matt Stafford's playing against a team he's very familiar with. He played against them all them years when he was with the Detroit Kitty Cats.
Yeah, so that should be a pretty good one as well. And then my third one that I'm looking forward to, non-division. There's a couple I could have went with here, but obviously I've got to go with the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 14 with the Cincinnati Bengals. They come into I'm trying to think of the name of the stadium. I was going to say Paul Brown Stadium. Paycor Stadium. I would feel a lot better if they were going to Burrowhead, where Joe Burrow's 3-1 against Patrick Mahomes. But, hey, we'll take them over here, I guess. But I'm really looking forward to that Week 14. If everybody's healthy at this point in time of the season, this should be a really good matchup and maybe a preview of some AFC playoffs. Gage, what do you think for your last Pittsburgh anticipated game?
In my last one, we're going to do the wild card rematch between CJ Stroud and the Texans and Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. I forget where it's at. I believe it's in Houston. But Rodgers is going to be looking for that little bit of get back. And I'm hoping he gets it. But looking forward to that one. And we know the defensive matchup is going to be great on both sides.
Gordon, what is your third matchup that you're looking forward to with the Packers?
Me and Gage did not talk before this. Week 17, Green Bay plays the Houston Texans in Green Bay. I'm a CJ Stroud fan. I mean, he was an Ohio State quarterback. I'm a CJ Stroud fan. But I think because of their defense, the field won't matter. It's going to be a good game. So it's going to be a good game. There is actually a close contender, and just because it's a returning player, Malik Willis for the Dolphins, but the way the Dolphins normally play, I don't see as much of an anticipated game, except for me.
Willis seems like he may be set up to fail down there in Miami with the weapons that he does not have.
Yeah, well, they got rid of the two best.
Yeah, and you got Achane, I guess, but you're gonna need more than that. Texans go to Pittsburgh, Gage, for Sunday Night Football in December.
Okay.
So that, and Gordon, also you said maybe pick what our team's record we think is going to be.
Projected record, yeah.
I haven't even really looked at it yet. Like I said, we do preview of the divisions later on. But if you've got a projection for your team, you can go ahead and you can do it now. It's fine.
Okay, in my heart, I want them to go 14-3 at least, but it's my team. But realistically, I think they're going to go. I think they'll go 12-5. They got a lot of winnable games in the beginning. I mean, most of the home games I'm looking at, we should win because the home games, of course, are outside of our division games. Of course, there's 4 there, 3 there, 3 there. We got the Falcons at home. We got the Falcons at home. We play the Cowgirls at home. We play the Panthers at home. We play the Bills at home. That's going to be a tough one. We're playing the Aliens at home.
And it's not the playoffs, so that'll be tough.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're playing Malik Willis and the Dolphins at home. And we play the Texans at home. So a lot of our tougher opponents are at home. The ones we're playing away, one of them is the Jets. So let's just scratch that one out.
Yeah.
We do play the Bucks on the road.
That'll be tough.
That'll be a tough one. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking realistically, I'm thinking 11-6, 12-5. We're gonna have a pretty good record. We may limp into the playoffs, but because we do play Detroit the last game of the year again. I'm so tired of playing them at last game of the year. And then the Bear shits.
You've got to play one of your division ones at the end of the year. So.
Yeah. Well, we kick off a division game. We end the season with a division game. We start off with the Vi Queens and end with the Shit Bears.
And have the Lions in there twice in between. So, Gage, I don't know if you had a projection for the Steelers, what you think, or if you're just going to save it for the preview.
Honestly, right now, I haven't taken like a deep dive into the schedule, but I'm willing to stick with the Pittsburgh standard. Give me 10-7.
I thought you were going to say 9-8.
I think McCarthy gets us, the double-digit win, and then we fall off the last, 3 games this season.
McCarthy gets them into that elusive double digits for wins. I like it there. So that's the NFL we've got for the week here. As we've hit the schedule release, we've hit some news. Let's head to baseball real quick here. And Gordon, I've never been more disappointed in you than I was this past week. The Reds lose.
It's because you didn't ask.
That's what it was. I didn't ask you what it was.
Hey, Gage looked at me and said, "You are cursed," and I didn't see it.
Gage cursed it right there. Reds lose 2 out of 3 to Cleveland, but they take 2 out of 3 from Philly earlier in the week.
Wait a minute, that's who I thought they were playing. Just kidding.
That's it. That's what it was. Now, the Reds take 2 out of 3 from Philly earlier in the week. Last weekend, the Phillies sweep the Pirates. Gage.
We're past that. I don't know why you got to bring that up. Because if you want to do that, I remember how many series ago when the Pirates swept the Reds.
I got that one wrong too because I thought they would win the series. I said they'll win the series, but the Phillies will get one, and Bryce Harper will hit a home run in that game.
Yep, that's what you said in that too. Yeah, so
that's what it was. I picked the Pirates. I picked the Pirates series. That's what jinxed me.
Yep, that's what it was. You don't ever pick the Pirates series, but you did this past week. Man, yeah, right. So the Reds, they lose 2 out of 3 to Cleveland. They take 2 out of 3 from Philly, and the Pirates. What about the Pirates this past week with the Cardinals? Gage.
They suck. Yeah, I know the Pirates just won the series against St. Louis, but they suck. They got swept by Philly, wasted a Braxton Ashcraft gem. The bullpen, again, same story. They suck. I don't really have much to say, although I believe it was the Saturday game. Whichever game Braxton Ashcraft did start against Philly, I turned a $1 bet into a $12.78 three-leg parlay with a Brandon Lau home run, Braxton Ashcraft hitting his strikeout number, and Pittsburgh to score the first run. So thank you, Pittsburgh. Thank you, DraftKings, for that, and thank you for the 30% boost.
It wasn't Saturday or Sunday because they got shut out 6-0 both games, so it had to be Friday.
Then maybe it was Friday. I don't know. It was one of these games that we played.
So this week coming up, this weekend, speaking of the Cardinals travel to Cincinnati to face the Reds. Gordon, what are we thinking here for this series?
Ken, is that a 3 or 4 game?
It is a 3-game series this weekend in Cincinnati against the Cardinals.
I'm thinking
Okay.
Give me the Reds. I don't think they're going to sweep. I think they're going to take 2 or 3.
I like hearing that. But the thing I worry about with this for the Reds is Chase Burns is not going in any of these games. And that is our guy right now, Chase Burns.
Well, I got a feeling their bats are going to come alive in at least 2 of these games.
Let's hope so.
There's
And
always one game where their bats are fucking dead as shit. So
yeah. And Gordon, before we go on, last week on the podcast, we were talking about Patrick Bailey. You all were talking about Patrick Bailey getting traded to the Guardians from the Giants. And you mentioned a catcher that used to play for the Reds, Tucker Barnhart.
yeah,
My wife Katie's favorite player. And she was she was like Team Gordon all the way once he started bringing up Tucker Barnhart. She's like, yes.
I said he was It said he was about the best catcher they've ever had.
Yep.
Good defensive catcher. He could call a game.
And she was with you the whole way on that until you said, I don't know what happened to him, whether he walked away, retired, or quit, or whatever. And she's like, he didn't quit. He didn't quit. He got traded.
I didn't know.
She was kind of peeved about that. She's like, he wouldn't quit like that. He played a few more years after that.
But I did give him his props. I said he's about the best catcher the Reds has ever had. He could call a hell of a game.
Yes, he could. He couldn't hit as well. I mean, he had a few,
games.
But he could throw a guy out at second base like nothing else.
Okay, he could do it from a crouching position.
Yeah. So she was glad. I mean, she was glad all the way up until when you said that last part, and then she was off the bandwagon, Gordon.
You can tell her. I apologize. I haven't. There's a couple years there where I didn't follow much baseball because I was so dead set on football and then working as many hours as I did. I wasn't able to keep up. Well, I didn't know. I just knew he wasn't on the Reds no more.
No, he wasn't. And he was still a really good defensive catcher when he went to Chicago, Detroit, and then now, he's out of the game now. But Tucker Barnhart, one of the best defensive catchers in baseball, used to be, but no longer plays in the league. Gage, let's go to your series this weekend. The Pittsburgh Pirates travel to Canada to face the Toronto Blue Jays. What do you think about this series up here in Toronto with the Jays?
It's a hard one to call. I don't know the probable pitching matchups. I know Ashcraft went today. I know Majinski went yesterday, so I'm expecting probably Skeens, Keller, and Bubba Chandler, maybe.
You got Skeens Saturday.
All right, Skeens on Saturday. The Blue Jays lineup has been okay. I don't think they've been overpowering by any sorts of imagination. They've still got Vladdy. I'm willing. Is it a 3-game series?
Yeah, you got Chandler and Gossman going against each other on Friday. It's a 3-game set.
Yeah, I don't think Pittsburgh will win that one, but I still want to say that they take 2 of 3 from.
Good. Mitch Keller against Dylan Cease on Sunday.
Ooh, that should even be a good matchup.
Yeah.
I'll still say 2 of 3. And I think the recently called up password, Garcia, I think he hits his first home run this weekend.
Speaking of recently called up, this is a guy a couple years ago that I thought, man, he was going to be a something for the Reds. Reese Hines gets designated for assignment. He had like one of the best weeks in the middle of summer a couple of years ago and has done nothing since. They designated him for assignment, and then today they trade him away to Miami for a AA pitcher, which, okay, whatever. Reese Hines, thanks for the memories and the 1 week that you give us in June 2024.
So, speaking of DFAing or whatever you want to call it, how long until Ke'Bryan Hayes bites the bullet?
Maybe when Eugenio comes back and can play third base.
Is he supposed to come back soon? I hope so.
I hope so. Hey, wait a minute, Gage. I hope soon, because Ke'Bryan Hayes, maybe the other day when they beat, who was it they beat? Who did they just play? The Phillies. He may have had one of the worst games ever. I don't know how many. He ground in like every double play that there was there, and just it wasn't good at all. Gage, you mentioned, players that are hurt that you maybe have a little interest in. Well,
Turf to tears. It's
who you got injured on your fantasy team, Gage?
So the past week has been the worst week of history or injuries this season on the fantasy baseball team. You still got Eugenio Suarez sitting there on the IL. I believe he's starting a rehab assignment soon. I could be wrong on that. And Clay Holmes, one of my best starting, takes a comebacker, I believe it was, and breaks his fibula, whatever it's called. I don't know. But he's out for the foreseeable future, so I drop him. Who do I pick up? I pick up some Detroit Tigers pitcher who I've never even heard of before. And I couldn't tell you his name right now because I have no idea. Gets one out in his start and takes a 104-mile-an-hour comebacker off the arm. I dropped him. Pitching-wise, worst possible outings, I guess you could say. Holmes was having a great season. The Tigers pitcher was actually having a really good season. And then you go to my offense. One of my catchers, and catchers are a premium, especially in my league where you have 2 slots for them. Ryan Jeffers for the Minnesota Twins. Out at least a month. I forget what the injury is, but he was placed on the IL here the other day. And luckily, I have his backup, who I didn't even know I had. For whatever reason, it didn't click that they were both with the Twins. Victor Caratini. Caratini has sucked this year, batting under 200. Popped a home run yesterday, so that was cool. But still batting under 200. And then I just saw here not that long ago, my outfielder, Ronald Acuna Jr., left the game early in the 6th inning after just coming off the IL here over the weekend. And now he's probably going back on it. I don't know what it is with me and the injury bug, but it needs to stop.
It happens in every fantasy league you have, Gage. It seems like you always pick. Do me a favor. Don't pick up any more Reds, and do not pick up any Bengals this fantasy football season.
Knock on wood, I don't have any around, but knock on wood, none of my Pirates have gotten hurt. I have Paul Skeets, I have Bubba Chandler, and I have Dennis Santana. Bubba Chandler, maybe he could use a trip to the injury list. But the other two, I'm okay with them not being in football this season in Gordo's league. I just need to draft the entire Bengals roster.
No. If you want to go Packers, I'm fine with it. Just don't do the Bengals, right, Gordon? He could do that, right? He pops back in.
Yeah, he can leave the Packers alone too.
Well, just remember, this started this season, this fantasy baseball season, with me trading for Eugenio Suarez, and the day the trade processes, he gets thrown on the IL. So, ever since then, it's been all downhill for me.
Yeah, let's keep my team's players out your fantasy lineup. All right.
Yeah, that works.
All right, so the next baseball topic we've got here, guys, Trevor Bauer is in the news once again, and not for baseball reasons. He crashes his car, and does this make it even harder for him to get a job with the major leagues? I mean, he's causing off-field issues here. The Reds could use him right now in the bullpen. I don't know why he hasn't got a shot, but yeah, he makes news for different reasons yesterday.
And not good ones.
Not good ones.
And this comes off of, he was just placed on the IL by the Long Island Ducks.
Yeah.
Not long after his last start, where he went 5, gave up 5 for arguably his worst outing of the season. But, the outing beforehand, I think it was, or 2 outings before, he set the single-game strikeout record for the
right.
So, you give and you take a little bit. But I did see a report where Bauer, I believe he drives a McLaren, of course.
Yeah.
Actually got T-boned. So maybe it wasn't his fault directly, or maybe he ran a red light. I don't really know.
Right. Either way, though, it's not good publicity for a guy who's looking to have some good publicity. I mean, it's just not good.
I just don't understand. Yeah, he had the allegation against him. It got dropped. It got proven true. And the guy blackballed from the league because Manfred hates him. Yet you still have guys like Aroldis Chapman in the league. You got guys like Luis Severino in the league. And it's okay. You got guys like Derek Shelton coaching. He didn't do anything, physically, but he gave Pirates fans a lot of mental abuse the past few seasons. So, players in this league that maybe they shouldn't be allowed in either.
Once you're on the commissioner's bad list, you're done for. You're not playing anymore. It's like Pete Rose. He was on the ban list forever for gambling, but now watch this game on the FanDuel Sports Network. So it's kind of a whatever. So a little bit of college football news here, Gordon. I'm going to throw this in real quick. Coach is heading back to LSU. Ed Orgeron is hired to go back to be a part of Lane Kiffin's staff at LSU.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Go to Cookie Cookie. So how is this possible? LSU, if you remember, Coach was fired from LSU because he had his mistress that was on campus in team practices going through walkthroughs and whatever. Like she was part of the staff and they found out about it. This was all why he was married. And now he's on the staff with Lane Kiffin. What do you think about it, Gordon? What do you think about him coming back? Coach O is a heck of a recruiter on and off the field.
It's kind of shocking.
It is, isn't it?
I mean, to me, it's none of my damn business. He wants a little playtime on the side. That's between him and his wife. It has nothing to do with me.
Right.
But if you consider some shit that goes on, I guess it really ain't all that bad. They're looking around saying, that ain't too damn bad considering what these other guys are doing. And so, but still, if you think about some of the stuff that's happened, if you really think about it, guy was in Arkansas. What was it? Bobby Petrino.
Bobby Petrino. Yep.
About the same thing, except he had a motorcycle accident, and that's how he got caught.
Well,
I guess he got, well, he had a motorcycle accident too, so I guess that kind of stupidity on top of it.
Motorcycle accident was kind of cover up for maybe somebody found out about it and took care of it. And, looks like he was in a motorcycle crash. Wink, wink. Yeah, this is weird. But then again, hey, Coach may have stepped out on his wife. But once again, Lane Kiffin, the head coach, also stepped out on his Ole Miss team. So, hey, it fits right in.
Yeah. Hey, we like the ones who step out.
And so a little sad news here. We don't really talk anything else on here besides some football, some wrestling, some baseball, but some NASCAR news that came out today. Kyle Busch passes away at age 41. Just all of a sudden, kind of.
Wow.
Yeah, not very old. Sudden illness, they said. He just raced like 10 days ago. I was my first race when they had Kentucky Speedway open in Kentucky. First NASCAR race I went to. It was in 2004, and Kyle Busch won that race. He was 19 at that time, and today he's gone. It's kind of shocking.
Yeah, hell, yeah, he's 10 years younger than me.
Yeah, and I don't know. They haven't said what happened. They just said it was a sudden illness, and they said earlier in the day he wasn't going to be able to participate in this weekend's activities, and then a few hours later they say he's gone, and it's just like, wow. Just didn't see that going. He's a huge name in NASCAR. I don't really watch NASCAR anymore, but I know Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he was a part of Hendricks Motorsports, and he drove the M's car.
So, do y'all have anything else you want to add? Anything else y'all want to add here at the end of this show?
Beast returns.
The Beast did return on Monday night. Everybody thought he was gone. He's back.
I think he was going. I think they told him that he was going to have to pay a hefty fine, and they was going to sue him if he didn't return because he still had 4 months and a bunch of appearances left on his contract.
He's going to retire at some
But it's
point.
definitely unexpected.
Oh, definitely unexpected. Yeah, because whenever he left after WrestleMania, that's not the Brock character. That was the real Brock person. He walked out, he was, pounding his chest, telling people that he loved them, shaking people's hands. How many times you seen Brock Lesnar walk out of the ring doing that?
But
Me, never.
Maybe this was all part of the plan. Make it seem
If
like
that was a work, then that was a hell of work between him and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's a good actor, but those were real tears.
I don't know though. Yeah.
You know what they say? There's always a plan B.
What they say.
That was made famous by Triple H.
Look, at least he didn't get arrested for beating somebody up in an elevator. That's all I'm saying. He's back
That's
on
a good
top.
thing.
It's a good thing.
No one would ever do that, right?
No, I
Suppose there'd be
see.
some up of an elevator. I'd like to see the elevator. The elevator probably had human-sized head holes in it.
Well, guys, anything else? Anything else you want to add here before we shut her down for the week?
I actually do want to add on to the whole Ludwig Kaiser beating someone up in an elevator thing. Isn't he supposed to compete this weekend?
In
In a
AAA.
mask,
Next
in a
week.
mask
Is it
versus mask.
this weekend or next?
I don't think he's going to be able to make it.
Oh, he posted bond.
Yeah, and I know that they were like seeking permission for him to go compete because it
Oh,
would be
yeah.
him. It would be him leaving the country.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that part of it.
Yeah, and Jacob Fatu was cheated.
Yeah, he was.
Roman Reigns used an exposed turnbuckle to beat him. Jacob Fatu was cheated.
They got a rematch next week, right?
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, right now, when you throw the ones up, it's for Jacob Fatu.
Well, let's not go too far.
No, because he proved Roman Reigns cannot beat him without cheating. Fatu, way to go! There you go, Brent. Fatu.
Two.
And besides, Fatu's music is so much cooler in his entrance.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. Me and Gage talked about it last week. Now I'm going to ask you, Brent, because you wasn't here.
All right.
New woman on SmackDown, on SmackDown, on Raw, I mean. What did you think about, what's her name?
Sol Ruka.
Sol Ruka, yes. The cartwheel on the top ropes. Holy
All right.
shit.
All right. So, gonna be honest with you, haven't seen it.
Oh my God. Look it up on YouTube. I'm not joking.
The only thing I saw was the Soul Snatcher,
Against Becky?
the one
Did
she
she-
missed.
Oh, well, yeah, the same match. But
Same
earlier in
match.
that match against Io Sky, she did a cartwheel on the top rope and caught Io Sky in a bulldog.
Check that out. See, but I haven't got to see much of it the past
Yeah.
little bit. I've seen some clips.
Me and Gage both agreed. She's already more of a star than half the people in the roster.
Well, hey, she's not the champ though, like your girl. So we'll see if she can get to that or not.
She got cheated against the champ. She had to have help from Roxanne Perez and Uber driver.
Uber driver.
Yeah, Raquel.
Oh, well, guys, next week we come in here, we'll be getting to week 10 of the UFL. We'll travel down that highway when we get to it. And then we just got, after this week, there's just 3 more weeks of UFL ball. And then, man, in like another month or so, we're going to be hitting our previews for the season in the divisions. Gordon already told me on text he cannot wait to talk about the Kitty Cats, the Vikings, and then the Chicago Bears. So, we'll see how that goes. But that'll do it for us this week. Gage, if you are getting tired right there on the drive home, hit a little dubby, get that energy up going, use promo code YELLIN, save you 10% at checkout. BW, be better. Have a safe trip, safe travels, and we will catch you all next week.
Later.
I'm still wondering how you're driving in your living room, but okay.
It's a NASCAR game. We'll see you guys.
Oh, by the way, Gage, just for you, live sucks. Okay.